As we've indicated throughout the research, that one can find equality everywhere, in every breath, in everything that exists. There is a point that is equal, meaning a point that is best for all. So even in money, there is a point of equality, which is where equal money comes from. It is the point that is best for all, because money has become totally interwoven as the very fabric of the existence of the human race, of the human being. So therefore, money, for a time, would be part of the human existence. And there is a point of equality with money. Money being made, produced or conceived from a principle of debt anyway, which means it is virtually illusionary. Equal money can be anything you want it to be, because at the end of the day, it is the choice that is made. It is the freedom you have to create either that which abuse life or that which is best for life. That is freedom of choice. That's the only freedom there truly is. And both carries the consequence. That which is best for all carries the consequence that is best for all. That which is abusive, that which is polarity, which is limitation, that obviously carries the consequence of limitation. You are, in truth, the creator of your reality. And you are the fabricator of your reality. You are the fabric that makes up the complete experience for yourself and each other. And to base it in freedom of choice. So, freedom of choice then also have a point of equality. A point that is no longer polarity. A point that's not a balance. It is a point where no balance is required. So therefore it's not a middle way. It is the best way. Therefore, in choice, freedom of choice, you have a point of equality. Just like you have a point of equality in money, which is equal money. In freedom of choice, you have a choice that is best for all. You can maybe call it equal choice. Equal choice from the perspective of producing, participating in, bringing about that which is best for all. In essence, even in the revolution, there is equality. There is the point where there is no more a judgment of each other. There is no fighting between haves and have-nots. There is simply a statement within the revolution that one will no longer do that which is revolting for another. Each will do their own revolting stuff, and each one will have that which is best for all. So therefore the wheel then turns, and you have revolution. And when the wheel turns, you also have the will that change. The will and the wheel, in fact, being the same thing. The wheel being simply the symbol of will. And when the will turn, and it keeps turning within the principle of polarity, good and evil, have and have not, you keep on having no result, no answer, which is what you'll see happen in Egypt and Libya and all the revolutions taking place now. It is a vital step, yet it's also a step of great learning, because there will be no result that is best for all from this. There will just be more exposure of abuse. There will just be more suffering, and hunger will become much more important as many suffer endlessly, until the realization comes that when one change, when you have revolution, make sure what is birthed from it is once and for all that which is best for all, because when it is best for all, you will no longer suffer. Best for all even indicate that in suffering there is equality, and that equality in suffering is that there is no more suffering. That doesn't mean there is no more disease. Disease exists. In most cases, disease exists because it was created from inequality. In a system of equality, obviously, disease will diminish because we are no longer creating it. We are no longer the perpetrator that are the traitor, in fact, that use our trait of deception and of control to place our neighbor in a position which is unequal, and therefore cause them to be without the proper care and the proper immunity to take on this life effectively. And therefore we then create through the aid we give, because the aid is not proper, a form of immune deficiency, because the person can never stand up as a living being, as an equal, as a neighbor. They are always subject to our so-called good-heartedness, because they are unfortunate and we are fortunate. We do not see the very evil we are creating, utilizing our good fortune to enslave the rest of humanity. At this stage, actually, the bigger part of humanity. So understand what free choice has become. Free choice, as it exists within the context of the current reality, is not in fact free. It only makes some free at the expense of others. The only way that free choice could be, in fact, something that is free for everyone, is when whatever is done, whatever is decided, whatever is lived, whatever is the community on earth is what is best for all in every way. Thus, we will approach, and we will repeat this many times, the particular problem in this world from a multifaceted way, politically and economically, and in the arena of community, society, and labor and education. This will take time. We have fabricated the current illusion that we call life through aeons of time, through centuries. The current economic system has been developed. Through decades, the abuse has increased. So there are multiple ways one can look at the problem. But the solution is simplistic. Utilizing democracy, where each one living being, each human at this stage, exercise one vote, expressing within that context who they are, whether they stand for what is best for all, within which context they, as the individual, is protected and supported in the ultimate way, or if one remain part of the small minority that abuse in the name of money, in the name of power, in the name of intellect, in the name of deception, in the name of possession, once obviously an equal system is in place in this world, any person that acts in a way that will cause harm through inequality, where one wants to dominate or abuse another, will be treated as a mental disorder, which is in fact what it is, which we will prove, because it is the result of the inner chattering, the back chat that happens in the mind. It is in fact a form of possession, a form of personality disorder, because the self-belief that you are better than another is made up in your own mind. It's not in fact true. All human beings function in exactly the same way unless there is some physical illness or genetic disorder. In many cases we'll be able to resolve these points and all humans will be equal. What happens within the mind, that is the part that must be disciplined and brought into context of what is best for all, because it is where all evil has been mined over centuries to create the current idea of consciousness and the accepted levels of abuse under a disguise of light and love and all kinds of religious contexts that justifies why half the world can suffer while the rest live in various stages of their pursuit of happiness. Therefore, freedom, in essence, is the confirmation of the understanding that the pursuit of happiness is that which is best for all, and that one makes such a choice freely through the understanding that once you give what you would like to receive, you are in fact the creator of heaven on earth. You are in fact the fabric of heaven on earth. You are in fact the substance from which flows heaven on earth. You are in fact sharing the value you find within yourself as the value of life. You are in fact loving yourself as you love your neighbor, and you have completed the road to yourself, and you are home within and as yourself. And that is reflected within the systems that manage the reality within which you live, which on earth would be the earth reality, where you have certain functional physical needs, and that is taken care of, and you are functioning within the limitations, taking care of your own mess you create through the physical body, cleaning up your own shit, cleaning up your own home. And you'll be surprised if there is no more slaves that come and clean up homes. Even the millionaire's home will get smaller. And if there are no more maids that look after the children, the families will get smaller. All natural outflows from the principle of equality, equal money, and equal life.